We are all here in the one room, basically, in North Carolina that works, I guess you could say. It's the only room that has carpet in it, and if you go out into the house, you will see why we're all huddled into that room. So here is what we're working on. Yeah. So this is the problem that we're facing right now. So the house is a mess, and the only thing that's been done is the demolition and the support beam. So we are now in the worst possible situation, which was our fear was that the contractor had stolen the money and not used any of it to buy supplies. Now, that being said, a lot of demolition's been done. The support beam did get put in. So, there is labor hours that are accrued in terms of a job of this kind of size and nature, but several instances we were given the assurance that X number of thousands of dollars had been put on Lowe's cards, and so it would be 100% reserved for the job. We were told that drywall was bought. We were told that 2x4s were bought. We were told that stair treads had been bought, and none of the stair treads are here. None of the 2x4s are here. None of the drywall is here. So it is, I want to say it's Tuesday before Christmas. Christmas is on Friday, and this is what we're going to be doing. So our whole family of 6 is sleeping in the room that I just showed you, and I am working on the house, trying to see what we can get done, desperately trying to see what we can get done. We had the city of Winston-Salem come over and take a look at the project, and now that they know the position that we've been put in, they are, he said, going to talk with the lawyers from the city to see if we can get it to the end of February. We have a licensed contractor coming over tomorrow to give us a bid on how much it's going to cost to get us from the point that we're at to the final completion. It's just super sucky. So that's the state that we're in right now. Feel free to come by. If you are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, feel free to come by the house. It's the same house that we've always had, and we will be working. So come by to say Merry Christmas or pitch in. There's a lot of stuff that has to be still cleaned up and hauled out. We're probably going to cook some marshmallows and use the stuff that's been demoed. There's lots of wood that's been demoed that we can use to do. We usually cook marshmallows and stuff like that for the kids. So we'll try to make the most of it. The RV should be done. It's pretty much what we thought it was cost-wise. It turns out it was the catalytic converter. The exhaust system was basically completely plugged, and they pulled it off and took it to a muffler shop, and then they drove the RV over to the muffler shop. So that's a good sign, the fact that they started it up and drove it over there. So I think the lesson is don't let it get below half a tank, because the fuel pump has to work harder when it's the fuel pump is cooled by fuel, and if you let it get too low, then it gets too hot and it burns up the pump, or you could burn up the pump. So I think we've actually been lucky, like extremely super lucky, that the whole system has shut down and prevented a complete failure of the fuel pump. But wherever we're at, whatever it is, the exhaust system is completely plugged. Which, now that I think about it, when I think about how the engine was like rattling and kind of the sounds it was making, that makes a lot of sense. So you obviously can't have a combustion reaction and generate exhaust and then have nowhere for it to go. It basically backed up the whole system, and so they had to take it off and put a new catalytic converter on. And then the mass airflow sensor, which, big surprise there, right, is gone. So that had to be replaced as well. So sensor, new exhaust system, and we should have the RV back tomorrow. We have extended the rental on the cargo van. We're going to take the cargo van because the rental car was due back like tomorrow at 1, and we're supposed to have the RV back by the end of the day. So we basically have to get it, transfer all the stuff from the cargo van back into the RV, and then come Thursday morning, we're going to take as much furniture out of the storage unit in North Carolina as we can, because we never actually really moved to North Dakota. The storage unit had to stay because when we moved to North Dakota, we had to live in a single wide trailer, and so we never really had room for anything. So a lot of the stuff is still in North Carolina. So we'll take the furniture out of there, downsize the storage unit, save a bunch of money every month, and then just hope and pray that the furniture stays in good shape while the house is finished up. And then I don't know. We'll see where we go from there. They got to get the house staged. We've got to get it has to be cleaned. From the demolition that was done, this house is a mess. It has a layer of stuff everywhere. So it's kind of a sucky situation. It was as bad as we thought it could be, and now we're just trying to figure out how to get through it because we got to be in California for the first convention of the year. And we've gone over different scenarios and what we could do. Should we leave somebody here? So thoughts and prayers are much appreciated. It's a bummer to go from a really good convention into the fire like this, but that's kind of how the year's been all year. So I got to keep removing insulation and pulling out that stuff. Got to get back to work. Rachel is working on putting the comic version of Colorworld into a single PDF document that we can get out to all the backers for the Kickstarter. So thank you, everybody. I apologize for the severe delay. This was not even supposed to go into December, and it's certainly I wanted to have the comic in your hands by Christmas, but that's the life we live right now on the Colorworld book tour. So that's what we're working on. Appreciate everybody's support. We will get through this. I have no idea how all the pieces will fall into place. We'll know a lot more by 10 o'clock tomorrow. That's when the contractor is going to come over and tell us what the damage is and what he thinks it's going to cost to get this job done. So, and how long it's going to take to get the job done. The city, the gentleman that's the professional contractor for the city said that there's no reason we shouldn't be able to meet a February end date. So it's just a matter of how much are we going to need up front, what the payment schedule is going to be like along the way, and what other projects will we not be able to do because of the situation that the house is in. Because we were expecting to sell this house in January and be done, and here we are. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all your support. We super need a lot of support right now, and we're going to keep trucking, and I'm going to keep working, and Rachel's going to keep formatting. And then sometime tonight or tomorrow, we will get the comic book out to everybody that backed us on the comic book Kickstarter. Thank you so much again for all your patience. It's not totally done. I have Anthony working on a cover. I have Joseph working on a cover. I've got Raylan working on seeing what we can do color-wise, and then get a hold of Garrett, and we'll put this whole final thing together. So appreciate everybody. It's coming. It's so close. We are just a few pages away and a cover from being able to hit the print button on the comic book. So thank you everybody for all your support, and we will see you at the next stop. The next stop on the Colorworld Book Tour is SAC Anime in Sacramento, California. The convention starts on the 1st of the year. So I'm sure we'll check in with you on Christmas Day to let you know what we're doing and where we're sleeping and how much is done. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of the Colorworld Book Tour.